Good morning. My name is Father Rayappa. I'm with my friend Joseph. He's having a beautiful infrastructure built here, and it's for the kids, it's for the children. And Nandri Foundation in that campus, in that complex, I am just today I'm visiting, and we are going to have something about talking about organic agriculture today and how to recycle and reuse the agricultural products. And people today want to live healthy, so we have been eating poison for the past 50 years after the Green Revolution. Fertilizers and herbicide, fungicide and GM, genetically modified crops, all had great impacts on people's health. So today there is a lot of awareness, and people want to have a clean food, and that kind of awakening is good, very good. Actually, before the invasion of Green Revolution, we have been eating good food, organic food. People lived longer, and people didn't go to hospitals, and their medical bills were less. And today we pay a lot of medical bills, and it puts pressure on the family and society and on the world at large. So Pope Francis is talking about diversified agriculture, organic agriculture, the infrastructure in agricultural sector, and without fertilizers and fungicide and herbicide we need to cultivate. He talks about it, and also GM crops, genetically modified crops, and there are so many industrial crops, and monoculture. Some farmers, they cultivate only one crop, like tapioca means tapioca, palm oil means palm oil, and oats means oats, rye means rye. But Pope is recommending diversified agriculture. That is what these people are doing at the back of me. Just now they are putting peanuts. Not alone peanuts, they put pigeon peas, and they put beans, they put also lentils, and lot of pulses also they sow in this land. And maybe peanuts we harvest probably after 3 months, and comes lentils, and comes peas, and comes pulses. So it goes. So it is not like they're going to harvest at the same time. We harvest at a different time, and also it's a cash crop. People need money, and they can make money for their livelihood. That's how our ancestors were living 10,000 years back. When we settled down on a land for agriculture purposes, of course we deforested. That's what, once upon a time there was a big forest here, but now because of agriculture, it's always anthropocentric. Man is the crown and the jewel of creation, and he is the image of God. All this hubris, people have inflated the ego, especially religions. So now humans are the top predator. He is the keystone species. That's what the ecology says. But no, I don't think we are keystone species. Every species is a keystone species, isn't it? Every species is important. That's what Pope Francis is writing in his encyclical Laudato. See, it's a beautiful encyclical. It's an encyclical on ecology and environment, and Pope wants a diversified agriculture. So I'm going to read paragraph number 180 from the chapter 5. The chapter 5 discusses about the lines of approach and action. You see, this encyclical not only talks about philosophy and theology, and also practical application of the philosophy and theology. And he's talking about lines of approach and action. And he talks about in the local villages how politics can enter and help people to live sustainably. So that is very, very important. So I'm going to read this paragraph, Laudato Si, Pope's encyclical on ecology and environment, from the chapter 5, lines of action and lines of approach, number 180. There are no uniform recipes because each country or region has its own problems and limitations. It is also true that political realism may call for transitional measures and technologies, so long as these are accompanied by the gradual framing and acceptance of binding commitments. At the same time, on the national and local levels, much still needs to be done, such as promoting ways of conserving energy. These would include favoring forms of industrial production and maximum energy efficiency and diminished use of raw material, removing from the market products which are less energy efficient or more polluting, improving transport systems and encouraging the construction and repair of buildings aimed at reducing their energy consumption and levels of production pollution. Political activity on the local level could also be directed modifying consumption. Here comes Pope includes agriculture. Developing an economy of waste, disposal and recycling, protecting certain species and planning a diversified agriculture and the rotation of crops. Agriculture in poor regions can be improved through investment in rural infrastructures, a better organization of local or national markets, system of irrigation, and the development of techniques of sustainable agriculture. New forms of cooperation and community organization can be encouraged in order to defend the interest of small producers and preserve local ecosystems from destruction. Truly, much can be done. Wow, this is a new type of habits, new type of lifestyle Pope is recommending for the sustainable future. Look at that. This land should be preserved not only for our own generation but for the future generation. Preserving the agricultural land for future generation is one of the sustainable features in our lifestyle. And also Pope is talking about small agricultural people. This is all small farmers, small farmers. These people are sidelined today because the multinational corporations like Walmart and Ambani, Reliance and a lot of other giant companies today, they support monoculture, only one crop. So they tell, like soya beans, they produce huge amount of soybean and palm oil, and they don't produce any more the vegetables and the herbs, especially pulses, completely forgotten. Pulses is our food security. In fact, the year 2016 is dedicated by United Nations as declared as a year of pulses. So these pulses were providing food for our ancestors. Half of the world's population depend on pulses. So today we need to create, these are all, I think, pulses farming. Peanuts is a pulses, it's a piece. It is it has so much of protein, carbohydrates, and it has cholesterol, good cholesterol. When you eat meat, you take protein, at the same time you take cholesterol. So you need to do exercise, and you probably, many people they don't do, but they go to doctors. You have to pay to detoxify your cholesterol. But here in the pulses, no. So Pope is recommending this kind of real small farmers where they can cultivate our ancestral crops, our traditional crops. And people, they have forgotten. If you don't cultivate, those seeds will be destroyed forever. In fact, Pope is telling a loss of a seed is equal a loss of a species of a plant or an animal. Such a dangerous situation we have created. So we need to bring back those ancestral seeds and traditional seeds, and we need to cultivate them, and we need to educate our children. And in fact, myself, Father Joseph, there's my friend Stella, and these are my friends. Please come, I want to introduce you. We are all interested in agriculture, and also Pope Francis document on Laudato Si document. We are all rooting for organic agriculture. Today we are camping here on the invitation of Father Joseph here, the Nunnery Foundation, and Irish people, we should thank for them for providing such a beautiful platform here. And we want to promote very sustainable living, not only the kids' education, at the same time their environment, their future food security, and their water availability. So it is an integral. Not only education is not going to make them a better citizen of the country, but rather we should give a integral education, the everything, the environment, the economy, the society life, the markets, the production, the consumption, everything, even the science and technology. This is an integral way of doing things. So Pope is also talking about the chapter 4, integral ecology. We need to progress together. We should never progress at the expense of the other. So we have been in the business as usual model. We have been progressing at the expense of environment and ecology. But now in the integral ecology model, we need to develop. Economy should develop, society should develop, environment should develop, ecology should develop. So everything has its place in the natural world, and not at the expense, not at the destruction of the environment. When we progress, I think we will not go too far. I think our future generations are going to pay for it. So we should realize that. So this is Mr. Sandan, Dr. Sandan. He's a very, very important man in organic agriculture. That is Stella is sweet, hot, and she's my friend too. So Stella is also very, very intelligent, very insightful on the future. She has got, and both of them, they have a premonition about the future. They could really foretell how our future could be. So there's such an insight they have. It is not their own copyright. It's a copyright of Mother Earth anyway. But they are using for the good of our common good. That's very important. And here comes my friend Sudha. She is from Bangalore. She doesn't know our language, but still she comes and talks to people. I mean, when you do something for the common good, language is not a barrier. Yeah. People understand. She speaks Telugu or English. People do understand. That is probably the outcome of the spirit of the age. We don't need. Silence can convey the best form of communication, I think, silence. So we value silence.
And also through the action.
Through the actions. Actions and silence, they are louder than any word. Sometimes we can't describe what we are experiencing, our anguish. That time you fall into silence, because there is no vocabulary to describe this experience, what we are undergoing. So silence could be appropriate response, I believe. So, but anyway, I thank these wonderful people. They are eco warriors, and Joseph also is filming. I will show you Joseph here because he is the Nandri Foundation. Director, and he is a wonderful young man, and he has got a vision, and he has dedicated all his life for the kids and the environment. So it's a nice feeling to work with this kind of wonderful people. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. Please, Laudato Si. Please take paragraph number 180, and you please read it. Actually, towards the end of the paragraph, Pope is writing about agriculture. In the beginning, he talks about a sustainable way of living, and he gives the lines of approach and action for the future generations, and also future, and for sustainable development, and for the children also, a new type of living and new attitudes. So that's how we build our new economy, new society, and new ecology, and new environment. Thank you, and God bless. We thank Pope Francis for this wonderful document. Thank you.